So why exactly should you start your own agency with Fiverr, and how exactly is this going to work? Now, let's start with the second part of this question. How can you start an agency with Fiverr? What I'm talking about is actually a local agency. For instance, if you live in a larger metropolitan area or just a larger city or even a smaller city, what you could do is you could be offering services to your customers in your region, but the only thing pretty much that you're doing is you take the work that you get from your local customers and you basically then send that work to someone online, for instance, on Fiverr. So basically you hire people on Fiverr to do work in your local agency. For instance, let's say you want to do marketing for other people, or you want to do translation, or you want to create logos, or you want to do branding or something like that, and you approach local businesses and you say, I'm going to set up a website for you, or I'm going to create a logo for you, or I'm going to create, let's say, nice branding for you, and I'm going to charge XY for that. Then of course you can take that work and you can then send to someone on Fiverr who will do the work for you, and you don't have to do anything else but to acquire customers. I'm going to show you how to do that later on, but there are lots and lots of reasons why you should start such an agency. First of all, and this is not even one of these points, it's a pretty easy thing to start. The only thing pretty much that you need is not even a website. The only thing pretty much is a phone. The only thing that you need to do is you need to set up phone calls, or you need to call people that are interested in these services, or just go to their store, offer them what you think you can offer, and then see whether they're interested in what you're doing, show them a couple of samples, get the job, and then outsource that to someone, for instance, on Fiverr. Now, the main reason why you should start an agency, and this kind of agency, is because you're going to generate a very high profit margin. You're going to make a lot of money per job, because local businesses are not online businesses. They're not, it's not very common that these people know that there's online, for instance, let's say an opportunity to get a logo done for $10 or $20 or something like that. So maybe they're going to give you $200, $250 for a logo, even though they could do it on their own and perhaps only charge or only spend, let's say, $20 or $30 or something like that. So what you can do is you can get $250 from them, just outsources on Fiverr, get, let's say, $20, or pay, let's say, $20, and the general profit that you're going to make on that deal is $230. So $230 on such an easy deal. And you can do this multiple times. If, for instance, you have 4 businesses that you create logos for every single month, and this is just a logo, you're already up $1,000 in profit without really having to do any work. The only thing that you do is you go to the customers, you talk to them, you try to get that deal, and as soon as you have it, you just simply outsource it. Then the second one is local customers pay more, so you can charge also a higher price point. You shouldn't approach them and say, well, I'm going to do this for low amounts of money, but rather go there and charge a high price point. Charge something that an actual business, an actual agency would charge, because these local businesses assume that you are an actual agency and that you're not outsourcing these kinds of jobs. The great thing also is that you're going to have a customer base, that you're going to have people that are hopefully going to buy from you again and again and again and again, which often doesn't really happen in the online world. If, for instance, you're working on platforms such as Fiverr, maybe there's people coming back because they like your work, but in actual real world situations where you have, let's say, a proper business in place and people can come through your door and say, I need this and that and that and that, that of course can create a lot of recurring revenue. So that's an important point here. Then number 4 is an actual business. You're not dependent on anything. So for instance, when you work on Fiverr, so when you basically charge other people money for your services on Fiverr, you're dependent on the platform. So you're dependent on whether people will actually buy from you or not. You're dependent on the algorithm of the platform. So whether you're on the first page of Fiverr and the 10th page, or perhaps even you don't show up at all, perhaps they block you, perhaps they do this, they do that. Again, Fiverr is not really known to do that, but again, it's always a risk that you might be facing. With an actual business, with an actual agency, you don't have to fear all of these things. So you're not dependent on any of these platforms. The only thing pretty much that you're dependent on is yourself. So you do the calls, you do the deals, you do the invoicing. It's all on your side, which can be a good thing, but which can also be a bad thing. Then of course, number 5, and that's the last one, it is scalable. It's a scalable business that you can build. You're not really, dependent on the customers that you get. You're rather dependent on the amount of money that you get per customer. So let's, for instance, say you have 100 customers on Fiverr that each pay you $5. Well, then, that's a lot of work. But if, for instance, you only have, let's say, 2 or 3 customers in your actual business, but they pay you hundreds and hundreds of dollars, you still have a lot of headspace. You still got a lot of room to actually scale your business. So you're not very limited to the amount of work that you can do, because you can always hire people who will do the outsourcing process for you. You can do the outsourcing process yourself. So it's a very easy and very good way to scale a business. You're not dependent on yourself in that sense, on the work that you have to do, but actually you have people that are working for you that help you to get work done in times where you're looking for new customers. So should you start an agency? For sure, starting an agency is a good idea. Should you do both, like work on Fiverr and start an agency? Absolutely. The more income streams you have, the better. Make sure that you have multiple income streams build up. That's always a good way to earn money. It's always a good way to be financially secure. Anyway, that was it now here for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope we can see each other in the next one.